cheeky fella is Bald and Bankrupt. Bald, whose real name is Ben Rich, is a British vlogger who travels the former Soviet Union and India having adventures. He's one of the top YouTubers in the world with 3.5 million subscribers. And he may also be
I'm such a gentleman.
A prolific sex tourist.
I found someone who's looking for girls like me. Where are the girls at? Let's find some chicks.
To his millions of fans, which once included me, Ben makes fun videos as he travels through the FSU, the former Soviet Union, and India. But what they don't realise is that Ben's YouTube travel channel disguises its true purpose. Just under the surface of his videos, Russian-speaking Ben Rich, nearly 50, leaves clues that show he's into seduction, also known as the game. A misogynistic community populated by these juddering bellends who post anonymous reports on forums where they advise how to target women and girls. One forum contributor in particular, Vorkuta, has so much in common with Ben Rich, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's actually him. But let's take a quick break before we get into this, and check out an old video of Ben's where he wanders around Delhi like a dog with two dicks.
Oh, sexy little things in their hijab. Wow. What a place. What a place. I never see so many burqas in my life. Look at it. It's like Afghanistan, probably. I'm a little bit scared to flirt. Might get lynched. I do like a woman in a hijab. Is the hijab one when you just see the eyes? It's very sexy when you just see the eyes. Leaves a lot to the imagination. You start imagining what's under the rest of it.
When Ben started his channel in 2018, he pretended to be so spiritual, he practically shat Bibles.
Now I'm going to take some water from the Indus and sprinkle it on Shivaji. And now my puja is complete.
In sycophantic language, Ben's early videos fawned over and sympathised with the Indian people.
Your gentleness and welcoming nature to all was your downfall. Your nation was raped by kings, queens and emperors, your treasures ruthlessly stolen from you and sent off overseas to colder climates.
But just 6 years earlier, Vorkuta was bragging on the RooshV forum about banging Indian women, calling Mumbai a shithole, and claiming villagers worship dung. Pause this video to read these if you want, but a warning in advance. An absolute dickhead wrote these posts. Vorkuta also said on the Naughty Nomad Forum that he ran a guest house in India for 4 years. Here's Ben Rich saying exactly the same thing.
What was supposed to be a 1-month journey actually turned into 4 years. I fell in love with India completely and ended up opening my own hotel in the country.
Vorkuta is actually a town in Russia, the most easterly in Europe. There's a write-up about it in a now-defunct magazine called The Spectator by a Russian-obsessed aspiring writer called Ben Rich. In lead and purple prose, Ben tells of his fascination with Vorkuta ever since he was a teen. There's further clues under the fantasist, the name Vorkuta changed to years later, presumably in an attempt to pretend his post history is all made up. The fantasist says he's 6'3" and in his late 30s in 2012. Oh, just like Ben. Ben's date of birth was revealed when he made international bloody headlines trespassing on an airbase, and the Russian authorities released his ID next to that of his Belarusian side chick. 1st of July 1974, got it. Young Ben harboured dreams of photography and writing, and while he was getting published in The Spectator, the Kyrgyzstani one, he was also chatting shit in pickup forums, where he discussed learning Russian so that he could go there and bang hotties. In this forum post, Vorkuta considers buying a dirt cheap house in Belarus and fucking the local farm girls in it, or as Ben puts it on camera.
I used to have a romantic image of what a Russian village was like. Of moving there, buying a little house there and setting up a life maybe in a village, just reading books, reading Chekhov for the rest of my life.
These posts discuss a memoir where the authors travelled Russia. Vorkuta gleefully quotes that the virgins will let you fuck them in exchange for a few drinks, where mothers offer their daughters to you for being a foreigner, and heading out to the shithole provinces in search of places where his white god status is maximised even more. Meanwhile, here's Ben Rich, bravely trekking off to the provinces for our viewing pleasure.
I've come down to this part of the country because I want to check out what a village looks like in Belarus. Go and have a look at what life is like there. So I'm going to go to the bus station now here in Gomel and try and find a bus out of here to some rural region and see how people are living in a village.
Vorkuta says on his next Russian trip, he intends to head to places completely off the track, to provincial seedy nightclubs full of disenchanted and hopeless girls.
Right then, exciting, right? A little rural community in Belarus. Now, there's been many foreigners come down here before. Let's check it out then. So first things first, let's go and check out this building.
Remarkably, it gets worse. The fantasist admits to changing their surname in order to commit credit card fraud. This name change admission is important because on Ben Rich's bankruptcy order, freely available online, oh look at that, 1st of July 1974, it shows he's also known as Benjamin Rich Swift. Benjamin Rich Swift appears in this Southern Daily Echo article, as in 2001 he went on trial charged with rape. Despite being found not guilty, the judge called Rich Swift and his co-accused appalling. Could this Benjamin Rich Swift... Wait, he was charged with rape? Could this Benjamin Rich Swift be Ben Rich of Bald and Bankrupt fame?
Yes.
And could Ben Rich be Vorkuta, also known as the fantasist?
Did you see that Muslim chick? See the eyes? Hi! Would you like to come for a drink with me?
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, here.
sometimes...
Hotties.
Where's the hotties? Everyone likes the lovely girl.
He's doing it now.
Yeah. Behind you.
Mate,
Oh, what are you? Daughter
what are you doing, mate?
You're a girl. Come and talk to us. Let's talk. We can talk about
you know,
the
you're just
Hindi
a
or
nasty
Belgian.
little cunt. So let's recap. Vorkuta, aka the fantasist, is
6'3", born in 1974, changed his surname, spent 4 years in India running a hotel from the south coast of England, was married and had a daughter.
Oh yeah.
I have a daughter.
Vorkuta even discusses his own rape charge at the same age and in the same year as Benjamin Rich Swift. Here, 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 and here. But these little scraps still don't mean that Vorkuta, aka the fantasist, is bald and bankrupt. There really needs to be more definitive oh, look at that. Oh dear.
Меня зовут Bald. मेरा नाम Bald.
Yeah, okay, it's him. Ben Rich, bald and bankrupt, is Vorkuta, aka the fantasist. The forum member who accidentally outed him, Tractor, is apparently this guy, a YouTuber called Irish Partisan. This is him sat next to Ben, looking like what happens when a thumb fucks a potato.
I'm sure he would approve.
Oh, you gorgeous. Oh, yeah, wink at me. Oh, you sexy little... There's a whole slew of these self-described pickup artists turned YouTubers who've leaked out of the waste pipe at the back of those forums. This is Harold Balder, not his real name. James Rodri isn't his real name either, but he used this on the RooshV forum among other pseudonyms. That was him earlier behind Ben, screaming about hotties.
Sometimes...
Hotties.
Where's the hotties?
There's also this YouTuber called Tall Travels, and this guy, Connor Clyde, who at least openly markets himself somehow as some kind of dating expert.
Guys.
But my favourite is Johnny FD, desperately showcasing himself as the ultra-successful millionaire he isn't. Back when he tried to be a pickup artist called Johnny Wolf, even his fellow shitberg introducing him wouldn't shake his hand. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Woo! What's up, guys?
Hello? Well, go on then.
All right. A lot of you guys have been asking,
Are you capable of speech?
where do I live?
Oh. Ben's online past, meanwhile, actually gets seedier, as there's another profile, this time called the Ligurian. The Ligurian isn't a prolific commentator as Vorkuta, though something about the Ligurian's prose is eerily familiar. Ben has a sideline as a self-published author. He wrote a book under the pen name Arthur Chichester. Just a sanitised version of his pickup artist forum posts, according to this review. A reference to the striking similarities between Ben's book and the Ligurian's posts. The Ligurian says he's met two girls so young, he needs to find out their ages first. He talks about his penis becoming engorged as he sits next to them on a bus, and imagines them performing a sex act for him. He refers to one of them, Katya, as a slut, and brags that he got physical with her when they went swimming. The fantasy is over when he confirms she is 16, a child. Here's Ben reading a chapter from his book. He's saying goodbye to a single mother called Katya.
Katya put her hands on my waist and leaned in to kiss me. A silence filled the closed space between us. Katya, listen, I understand, she said, cutting me off before I could finish, embarrassed that she had misread the signals. I would not be her ticket out of the provinces. There was a brief silence. Will I see you again before you leave town? She asked, no doubt already knowing the answer. Maybe, I lied. She turned and pressed the magnetic key into the slot before disappearing into the darkness of the vestibule, the clunky steel door slowly closing with a metallic thud behind her. I turned and walked back to the hotel along cracked pavements.
In another thread, Ligurian is driving through the countryside where he picks up a female hitchhiker. Once in his car and together alone in the middle of nowhere, he proposes she perform a sex act on him, which she reluctantly does, for $6. Everything I've learned has come from the Bald and Balder dossier on Reddit. These poor sods have been screaming about Ben for nearly 3 years, but so much against him is buried in a sea of anonymous forum posts that this has given Ben a confidence that he embraces hard. In posts from Ben's personal Instagram, he jokes about being a pickup artist. In another, he's bragged that he's been a sex pest for decades. And in this shameless post, Ben Rich, once charged with rape, jokes about using a date rape drug. But most brazen of all, only a year ago, Ben in a Q&A talked about internet trolls. Without knowing about his disturbing past, it would be easy to find this reply from Ben rather innocent. But knowing now what's been revealed, just see how he answers this question. What's more, watch what he cuts to.
How do you deal with it when people are like saying terrible things about you? When people are saying terrible things about you, when people are making up lies about you, they're slandering your name. So how do you deal with that? And I suppose every YouTuber has their own techniques to cope with that mentally. But for me, like, embrace it, love it, and amplify it. When someone says like, you're the biggest wanker in the world, you say, that's right, mate, bigger than you'll ever know. Even worse than you think I am. What are you going to do about it? Simple.
Хотите говорить с моими подписками? Говори что-то. Не стесняйтесь, все хорошо.
Wow, we found some shy girls here in Uzbekistan. Как вас зовут? Ну хорошо, но очень приятно тогда, не мешай.
This is a man hiding in plain... Oh, not that one. This is a man hiding in plain sight, gloating and unrepentant, who only thinks about number one. As a former fan, I feel conned, because I used to love Ben's channel. Some of his material, like his obvious on-camera charity and giving alcohol to alcoholics, felt a little on the nose. But I still enjoyed watching him explore parts of the world we never normally get to see, and being gracious about the people there. But now it's clear his whole channel is an excuse to travel to poor regions practicing game so he can lure women into bed.
Back in the game.
This is a man who refers to his ex-wife as a thing he wouldn't kick barefoot, all because 5 years of marriage has passed. A man who, following his rape trial, says he doesn't trust English women, hence I travel a lot for my bangs. This seems like a relevant point to end on. In 2012, Ben Rich asks his forum buddies where they hope to be in 10 years' time. By June 2022, he says he'll own an apartment in Eastern Europe. Ben now lives in Prague. He'll have travelled through Europe and his Russian will have improved. Yep, well done. He's got his book on Amazon, so there we go. He'll have dynamic and successful friends. And he'll find a way to make money via the internet that allows him to travel for much of the year. I have to give him credit here, even if his channel was apparently Harold Balder's idea. And it's money for old rope too. Creating this bloody video has been a nightmare, while all Ben does is wander down the street for 20 minutes, barely edit it, and bingo, job done. It's an untapped reservoir of lazy content, and he doesn't even prepare for it.
How much research do you do?
Zero.
It's actually pretty impressive that he and his pals have made a living while they travel. And in Ben's case, he does it minimally, in a way that he sells as no fancy editing or bullshit, when in reality, he's just lazy. Here's one last 10-year objective from Ben. I will have steadily improved my game and be sleeping with women of better quality than now, including banging a couple of genuine 10s. There's nothing wrong with being single and enjoying life, but then there's being manipulative and sociopathic. What's more, anyone who watches Ben Rich's videos isn't watching a cheerful traveller visiting remote places for the love of it. They're watching a predator, constantly on the lookout for women and girls to use for their own gratification. And his viewers are helping him.